Hello everybody, my name is Lenicus, and I'm going to be doing a playtest for NITETeam4 today. First off, I need to make a new account, so we're going to go ahead and do that, so I can test the new stuff. Now, I already have an account, so hopefully this will work. I can get into the game. Oh, oops. There we go. And we'll just go ahead and agree to these.
Welcome, Agent.
Right. So I've done some playtesting with this game before, not for them, but just in general. And I've been through a few of the little basic things, like the Hive Mind network that they have active. But for this session, what I'm going to be sticking to is their new Academy stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump right into it. So we're going to go ahead and...
Welcome to Boot Camp, Recruit. I'm Sergeant Wheeler, and I'm here to teach you all you'll need to know to become an elite member of our cyber warfare unit. Your recruitment officer told me you've got a decent head on your shoulders, and I'm here to find out whether or not that's an accurate assessment. I sure hope you don't disappoint. We only take the best at NITETeam4. NITE stands for Network Intrusion and Technical Evaluation. Your task is to identify, infiltrate, and gather intelligence from computer systems used by enemies of the Black Watchmen. Governments are short on time and resources, so it's up to us to take action. We address imminent global threats that can't wait for bureaucracy. Because we're a covert organization operating outside the rules of engagement that govern our allies, intelligence agencies around the world seek our help. Before we cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war, you have some training to do. Ready for the challenge? Then let's lock in.
Alright, so one of the things I really like about NITETeam4 is that they actually do have a bunch of voice scripts that you can listen to instead of having to read a bunch of text.
Select the Stinger OS Basic certification in the panel on your left. That will bring up an information screen on your right. Then click Access Certification to begin training. Good luck, Recruit.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hop right into that. Alright, let's go ahead and go straight into Phase 1.
Comm check, 1127. Hey, this is Agent Dylan. I'll be your wingman during training. Word of advice, it's always the know-it-alls who make the biggest mistakes. We can't afford mistakes, so keep a level head. As Wheeler explained, you're starting basic and building up from there. Go to the Information Gathering menu on your left and launch the fingerprint module. Drag the window around a bit and complete the test by typing the command HELP. Easy, right?
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hop right in here, and it tells us exactly what we need to do right up here in the corner for tutorials at least. So we're going to go ahead and go to the Information Gathering and host fingerprint.
Information Gathering Module initiated.
We can drag this window around however we want. And then we can type in the help command. Now, one of the things that I really like about NITETeam4 is that they do have really good tab complete. So we can usually hit just the first, second letters of the command and hit tab, and it'll complete it for us. So now we can go back to our certification, having completed that.
Excellent! You can listen and follow basic orders. That's not as common as you'd imagine. The Stinger OS lets you access resources from other divisions within the Black Watchmen. Division 40 is in charge of IMINT, the Imagery Intelligence section, and MASINT, the Measurement and Signature Intelligence. They provide you with satellite feeds and drone coverage during operations. You can access these services at the bottom of your screen. Division 40 is the fourth icon from the left. Click it and enter the following coordinates: 38 latitude, -77 longitude. Once you activate the satellite, click the Back to Globe link to end your task.
One of the things I wanted to point out is they actually, they're using references, real-life references, these down here, the Goldfish Attention Span, Kali Pen Testing Platform, and Metasploit Framework. Those are all real tools used by real security professionals, which is one of the other reasons why I really respect the team that made this game. They really put time and effort into making it fairly close to what you might expect. So we're going to go ahead and hop in here. We have the Global Positioning Satellite System here.
Drone and Imagery Intelligence active.
And now we just go ahead and put in those coordinates that they wanted us to do. And it goes ahead and does a quick search for it. Now we can hit the back to globe button, which is right up here in the corner. And that's that training. The training is real simple, but it's very useful. You really need to make sure you pay attention if you have no experience with Linux or any kind of penetration testing.
Nice! Before completing the certification, I want you to check out your agent profile. It's at the top left of your Stinger OS. Change your avatar and return here to finish this certification.
So we'll just go ahead and check in this. Since this is a new profile, I don't have all the things that I have on the other profile that I have with them. But it's part of the training, so we just do that real quick and head on back.
Nice! Before completing the certification, I want you to check out your agent profile. It's at the top left of your Stinger OS. Change your avatar and return here to finish this
Right.
certification.
They want us to change that. So the avatar is here. No. There. Oh, that's all it wanted. So there's that, and now we can head on back to the certification. And yay, that little bit is done. Now we can go on back, and we can head into the next little bit, which is the basics. Alright.
I'm impressed. Agent Dylan seems keen to train you. He must see some potential. All right, you've completed your first certification. You have another 29 left. You don't need to do it all, but if you are curious, you're welcome to dive in. Not all certifications are about command lines and typing text. Our work also involves other forms of investigation like digital forensics or signal intelligence. We'll learn them soon enough, but you have to master the command line first. It's a standard weapon and a valuable one. Some of this may already be familiar, but it never hurts to recap. Let's start with OSINT. Open Source Intelligence is the act of gathering intel from public data. Regardless of the nature of your target, there's a strong likelihood they've left a mark somewhere on the internet. Collecting all this public information lets you map a target's network infrastructure and identify its point of vulnerability. Your first certificate will focus on domain name reconnaissance. Domain names save us from having to memorize IP addresses. All we need to do is type in a domain name to retrieve a website or access a service. These domain names are managed by a domain name server, or DNS for short. That's great for us because we can extract data about our targets from these servers. Agent Dylan will show you how to find domain and subdomain names, even if the target didn't intend to make the information public.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hop into this and do some reconnaissance.
Man, I love this part. It's fun to see what you newbies are made of and separate the wheat from the chaff. Right, domain name reconnaissance. You'll need the DNS and vhost mapping module, which you'll find in the information gathering menu. The first command you've got to learn is the sfuzzer. sfuzzer launches a good old-fashioned dictionary attack against the domain name, trying thousands of the most common subdomains used on the net. If you sfuzz a domain name like NITETeam4.com, the dictionary will first try the obvious www before moving on to other subdomains like mail, FTP, or extranet.NITETeam4.com. Each time a domain name answers positively to an sfuzzer request, it will show as active. Since that's all automated, you just need to decide how long to run the dictionary attack. The longer you run it, the more words it tries, and the more potential access points you gain. Remember, the attack always starts with the most common words. 10 to 20 seconds is a good enough benchmark for easy targets. Well, what are you waiting for? You're the one who needs to get certified, not me. Open that DNS and vhost module and launch a 10-second dictionary attack on the domain name NITETeam4.com. If you get stuck, follow the instructions on the terminal.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hop into that and start this little information gathering attack. So we're going to go ahead and pull up the DNS and vhost.
Information gathering module initiated.
We're just going to do sfuzzer, and like I said, they're real good with autocompletes where you can type in just a little bit and it'll just go right away. What's really nice is when you get to it, when you are targeting a specific place, they will actually use that above everything else. So when you first type in the first 2 letters and you go to tab complete, if you are targeting something that shares those same 2 letters with something else that you've found, it'll autocomplete to what you're targeting as opposed to the one that you've already been through. So we have that found. Now we can head on back and take the next bit.
Another way of finding domain names is through a search engine's database, like Google, Yahoo, Bing, and the likes. Ask Jeeves isn't as useful anymore. Sometimes a search engine will accidentally index a private subdomain because of an oversight, leaked reference, or careless third party. We're here to take advantage of that mistake. I want you to use the OSINTSCAN command on NITETeam4.com and specify a database to look through. To look through Google database, you will type -s google.com. To ask for the first 500 results in the search engine, you simply add -d 500. So, your final command will be OSINTSCAN -s google.com -d 500. If you get stuck, the instruction should help.
So we're going to go ahead and hop into this little thing on
Information
2
gathering
different tools in
module
here.
initiated.
OSINTSCAN is real nice for a lot of things. However, what I like most about the SFuzzer is that the results come up immediately, as opposed to it having to do the search and then displaying them afterwards. Where with SFuzzer, we'd see as they come up, it would show it to us. And we've completed this, so we're going to go ahead and go back.
Excellent work! You know what you have now? The expertise to quickly identify potential entry points in an enemy network. You have the keys to their house. Of course, once you're inside the house, you'll need a new strategy. There's one last trick to the OSINTSCAN command. Sometimes a server can host multiple domains. Though one domain could be protected, another could be vulnerable. IP addresses are unique numbers that identify internet servers, and if you search by IP, you'll find all domains and subdomains present on that server. This doesn't just locate entry points. It helps discover links between organizations, like a supplier or a sister company that shares the same server. Right, let's finish up. Execute an OSINTSCAN on our IP address, 98.124.199.93.
Alright, so we'll go ahead and hop right into that.
Information gathering module initiated.
It's not going to let us autocomplete that, but that's okay. I've entered plenty of IP addresses in my time. We're going to go against Bing for this one. Dictionary attack 500. So, there we go. It's going to go ahead and search through the 500 results of Bing. And there we go. Alright, that certification is complete. We can move on to the next one. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into the advanced. You know, I think... Oh, we're going to go ahead and just keep going. I've still got another roughly 18 minutes from what they requested from me. I think I might be moving just a little bit fast, but I hope that you're able to keep up. So we'll go ahead and hop into the advanced OSINT.
You're almost there. Only a few more steps until we give you access to more powerful modules. We need to know you're comfortable with a sidearm before handing you a grenade launcher. So let's finish the basics. This next certificate covers advanced OSINT tactics.
Time to play around with the tools you've learned. I've set up various subdomains on NITETeam4.com, and I want you to test out different SFuzzer dictionary attacks. You'll notice contrasting results between a 5-second attack and a 20-second one. Follow the objectives to complete the task.
So, you don't necessarily have to do this, but
Information
I
gathering
feel it's
module
good for you to know.
initiated.
You can have 2 of these
Information
windows up
gathering
running at the same
module
time.
initiated.
So if you really want to be quick about things, you can start your SFuzzer NITETeam4 T20, or you can put the command in over there, and then have the other one in over here, so that way you're, quick between the two. So now that we've run the 5, we can go ahead and run the 20. And this is something that you'll use more when you're playing the actual game as opposed to the training. Because it's real helpful to run both the OS scan as well as the sfuzzer in parallel. That way you can get all the information at once without having to wait for one terminal to finish before you start the next one.
Now, I want you to see the difference between an sfuzzer and OS scan attack. Run both a 15-second sfuzzer and a 500 deep OS scan against NITETeam4.com.
So, again, I like to pull up
Information gathering module.
just 'cause I'm
Information
super
gathering
greedy.
module initiated.
So we'll start that sfuzzer because that runs, it'll display as we go. And then we'll get the OS scan. If I can type, that'd be nice. Yeah, got the OS scan going against Google over here. And we'll just wait for that sfuzzer to complete. And we'll immediately start in on that OS scan. And there we go. So note that it does in fact show us their IP address here from before. That's just a nifty little way of showing that everything that you're testing inside of the certification stuff, after you're done with your certification, you can still go and try and play around with it. It's still out there.
Excellent! Time for a little test. I've hidden the subdomain forums.NITETeam4.com. Use what you've learned so far to find it. It may be a long sfuzzer or a really deep OS scan. You might also find it in another search engine's database. Despite what their marketing team says, Google isn't the only one out there. Go for it.
Alright, so we're going to hop right into this. And this is really where that dual window thing I was telling you about comes in handy. So you can start
Information
that
gathering module
sfuzzer attack.
initiated.
And we can just set it to 30 seconds or even a minute if we want. We'll just let that run while we go ahead and start up.
Information gathering module
Additional
initiated.
OS scan. Oh, they want us to go against forums. I am silly. Oh, they want us to find it. That's right. Again, I am double the silly. And we'll go against Bing for this one. And we'll do it for 1,000. Now, it should take about 20 seconds for 1,000 to come up. 1,000 different results to be displayed. But the sfuzzer, like I said, it just keeps going. And see, we can see them both. We actually also found the Apache server, which is more than we found over here. So that's one of the good things about the OS scan is it has the potential to bring up other domain names faster than the sfuzzer. But at the same time, the sfuzzer brings them up as it finds them. So if you want to just jump right in and start fingerprinting things, which we'll learn about in a little bit, you can with sfuzzer. Now we'll learn about the fingerprinting thing I was just talking about.
Look how far you've come. Glad to see your recruitment officer was right. It won't be long until we turn you into an excellent agent. Okay, back to work. After you find a network's footprint, you'll need to scan for applications or services which are running on the server. Once you identify them, you'll want to search for any known vulnerabilities you can exploit. Services on a server need to communicate with the internet through a port. In the same way as when browsing the web, your browser connects to an application server via the default port 80. Scanning every possible port is a laborious process, but the Stinger OS comes with a distributed proxy network, using hundreds of servers to return results in seconds. Let's see how well you can find an open port and identify its running software. Agent Dylan will guide you through the explanation.
So that distributed proxy network that they're talking about, Another word for that in the security terms is a botnet, often used by hackers in order to
Time
do
to
denial
learn
of service
more
attacks.
about our target. Fingerprint commands are pretty straightforward. To scan the www subdomain, type fingerprint www.NITETeam4.com. You can enter this command in any terminal to automatically launch the fingerprint module. Also, you can launch the terminal via your information gathering menu. I've put the exact command in your certification objective, so make sure you follow the objectives.
So, like I said, again, they're really good with the tab complete stuff, and it's no different for the fingerprinting tool
Information
that they have here.
gathering
So
module
we can type in fingerprint
initiated.
and then www, and it just comes right up for us. And then we let it run its little thing, and this is where, this is the tool that I was saying works really well with SFuzzer, because SFuzzer brings up its results as it does its run. So as one comes up, you can go ahead and jump right into fingerprinting it, and then pull up another fingerprint module, and then while your SFuzzer is still running, you can fingerprint the next domain that it brings up. Just a few helpful tips.
As you can see, we're running an Apache server on port 80 for our website. Simple stuff, and thankfully, the fingerprint module didn't identify any vulnerabilities. Can't have the public face of our organization vulnerable to attack. Anyway, a fingerprint works by testing hundreds of requests for a specific technology and recording the software version that's running, along with its known vulnerabilities. Go ahead and run another fingerprint, this time on test.NITETeam4.com. I've set the subdomain up specifically for you.
Alright, so we'll go ahead and hop right into that.
Information gathering module
Bring up a
initiated.
module, fingerprint, test.NITETeam4.com. We'll go ahead and let it run. Watch it as it hits its results, and we'll see what's vulnerable. Alright, so there's that. We can see that the Apache version on that is up to date, so of course we won't be able to get into that.
You'll now realize it's possible for a domain name to have multiple ports. In this case, none of them are vulnerable, but I'm going to give you access to a vulnerable technology. I want you to target the subdomain server.NITETeam4.com with your fingerprint module.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hop right into that, and again, it's just the same command.
Information gathering
Repetition,
module
repetition,
initiated.
repetition. And there we go. We'll go ahead and let that run, and it'll tell us if anything is vulnerable. See, now when you see multiple hits on a fingerprint scan, that just increases your chances of finding a vulnerable technology on there. However, looks like there isn't one on that. So, that certification is granted. We can go back. We'll go ahead and start the exploit database now, which is basically just
With information on your
Metasploit's
target's
exploit
domain,
search.
subdomain, port, and software, you can now determine the best way to infiltrate their network. The fingerprint tool may flag up vulnerable technology, but you still need to know how to exploit that weakness. Your Stinger OS has a built-in database of all known exploits. Each one has a unique CVE number, short for Common Vulnerabilities and Exposures. The database is funded by our friends at the Department of Homeland Security, so feel free to send them a thank you card later. A CVE record from our exploit database includes everything you need to reproduce or even automate the attack process. It's like your very own version of the Anarchist Cookbook. Knock yourself out.
alright. Jump right into this.
Let's start with a normal attack vector. Pull up your DNS and vhost mapping and fingerprint modules to find a vulnerable technology on the domain freekevin.net.
Alright, so like I said, this is where
Information
We have
gathering
multiple
module.
of these
Information
guys
gathering
that would be helpful.
module
we'll
initiated.
start the SFuzzer on freekevin.net. And we'll just set that to go for 60 seconds, because it really doesn't matter how long that goes for. The OSN scan, on the other hand, we want to try and make sure that we don't go for too long or too short. 1,000's usually pretty okay. Sometimes when you get into the harder stuff, it may take up to 2 or 3, maybe 5. It all really depends on how deep they want to hide it. So we have all these guys here. Now we can go ahead and pop up couple of fingerprinting modules.
Information gathering module.
This
Information
is just how I
gathering
like to do
module.
things. You may have a
Initiated.
different way that you want to do your setup, but see, I can run that, and then I can go over here, and I can fingerprint the next one, and I can let them both run at the same time. This way I'm testing twice as fast, which is important to me. I like speed. Alright, so we can go ahead and fingerprint the next one, which is the webmail. And then on this one here, we'll go ahead and fingerprint the next one, which is the intranet, which is, I believe, the vulnerable one. See, that's up to date, so we have 3 services on this server, which, there it is. There's our vulnerability.
Well done! Let's see what we can learn about the vulnerabilities. Open your exploit database module in the information gathering menu, then type the command searchsploit SharePoint-2007 to bring up the CVE vulnerability record.
We'll go ahead and do that right now. So, the exploit database.
Information gathering module.
Search
Initiated.
You actually have to type these ones out, but that's okay because usually you can just copy paste as you go along. So, there's our vulnerability, and this will tell us, well, you'll see in a moment.
Awesome! Let's go for one more exploit with the command searchsploit CRM 4.0. Then we can launch into the juicy stuff, network intrusion.
Ooh. Alright, so
Information
that
gathering
exploit
module.
database,
Initiated.
searchsploit CRM 4.0. Alright, and that tells us how we would use our other tool to get in. And so with that certification completed, we'll move on to the next one, which I believe is our last one, so I'll have actually covered all of these in the 30 minutes I was given. And we'll go ahead and start this.
Well, well, recruit.
You're almost done.
I
You know
skipped
the
her
drill.
dialogue.
Find a vulnerable entry point for the domain
You know what?
cyberdyinggroup.net.
Just for you, I'm going to replay
Follow the
it.
instructions in your objectives.
Well, well, recruit. Looks like you're about to complete basic terminal operations. What better way to end than a chance to play with the infamous Fox Acid server? Developed by the NSA for their tailored access operations unit, Fox Acid orchestrates automated exploits with multiple applications. The original version was mostly used for inbound queries. A visitor had to call the Fox Acid server to get infected. Our upgrade comes with thousands of outbound automated exploit scripts, so we can now actively attack a target instead of waiting for them to come to us. Civilian tools like Armitage are also useful, but our version is a lot more powerful. For now, we'll give you access to basic scripts and exploits. Your task is to infect the cyberdyinggroup.net and install the After Midnight rootkit. This is a small footprint, kernel space, persistent rootkit that will provide backdoor access to their network. After this task, you will complete basic terminal operations. Then, you can move into advanced training or take on your first official mission. Good luck.
Alright, so we'll go ahead and hop right into this one. So we are going to start by opening up our DNS
Information gathering module.
And as
Initiated.
I like to do, we are going to start our SFuzzer over here, going against the Cyberdyne group. We're going to set that for a minute. Then we're going to go ahead and start up an OSN scan over here against the group, against Google, and we'll do the dictionary attack for 1,000 because it's a pretty standard number. While those are running, in order to create expedience,
Information
we'll go
gathering
ahead and start
module.
up our fingerprinting
Initiated.
tools.
Information
way,
gathering module.
We can
Initiated.
start on what we've already got, which is the www and the mobile. And I do believe that the VPN is what we'll be probably touching. So that's not vulnerable. So we'll start. Oops. Yep, start on the VPN. Now, some of you may be wondering what these are, and I am about to show you. These are actually really helpful. They're additional desktops. In a lot of Linux distributions, you will have multiple desktops where you can switch between a clean surface and all your other windows.
Awesome! Now, launch the exploit database and find the CVE record for the vulnerable technology.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and do that. allows us to come right back in. So as I was saying, you can actually just click on the technology to copy it. Hit Control C, standard little deal.
Information gathering
Start up
module
your search exploit,
initiated.
figure out how to get in, and then we'll head back to the cert here.
This is it, the final stage of your basic training. Open your Fox Asset server and enter all the attack parameters you saw in the CVE records. Take your time and make sure you've got the attack parameters on the left and the target parameters on the right. When you're ready, click in the center to launch the attack. This will deploy your After Midnight rootkit and install a Turbine C2 card, giving you full backdoor access to their network. Ready? Next time I speak to you, you'll be geared up for the big guns. Damn, I feel proud. I can't wait to hear Wheeler certify you. Now go ahead and finish what you started.
Alright, let's go ahead and hop right into it here. So we're going to go ahead and pull up our Fox Asset server.
Fox Asset server connection initiated.
One of the things they did that made it actually really easy is you got the little handprint here, and you can straight up click on it without having to type it in. And it brings up the vulnerable service and the port number that you're going to be using. So if we look over here, it'll tell us exactly what we need to use, which is UDP for the delivery. And then it says that we need to spoof some content. And we're just going to install our After Midnight rootkit because that is what we have. Alright, we just hit the little hand there
Fox
and away
Asset
we
attack
go.
launched.
And there we go.
Fox Asset attack
We
successful.
now have access to that agent. So we can go ahead and connect to them.
Connection completed.
And there's that. And ladies and gentlemen, that is our certification training, and I appear to have finished it right on time.
To whom it may concern, it is with great pleasure that I, Sergeant Catherine Wheeler, recommend Agent 7491 for the rank of Security Analyst Level 1. After successfully completing the basic terminal operations training with speed and finesse, this agent is now ready for active duty. I hereby request that we grant access to our Advanced Training Certification and Mission Center. I stand in strong belief that Agent 7491 will be a reliable addition to our organization and wish them a long and successful career in the agency. Respectfully, Sergeant Catherine Wheeler.
Alright, I'm just going to take a quick peek here and see if they've opened up the other bits. And it looks like... yes, they have indeed. But I believe that's all that they wanted for this one specifically. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye for now, and I'm going to cover the next little bit in another session and probably add that onto this video just because I'm an overachiever. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello again. We are going to go ahead and jump right into where we left off, which we're going to go ahead and try the digital forensics, which is now open to us. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in here.
Welcome to Advanced Training. These certifications are not mandatory but can vastly improve your effectiveness during active missions. Your eagerness to better yourself has been noted. Keep it up. As a NITETeam4 agent, there's more to the job than just wreaking havoc inside a target's network. Collecting data from a compromised network can often mean life and death for our field agents. The information gathered is invaluable to the success of the mission. The following set of certifications will focus on digital forensics, the branch of forensic science focused on recovering and investigating intel found electronically. We're going to start simple. Agent Dylan will introduce you to your Stinger OS file browser. Then you'll move on to advanced modules, whose abilities will likely cause you to lose a night or two of sleep.
Alright, so we'll go ahead and jump right in here.
Well, look who's now a security analyst. Can't wait to upgrade your clearance level. Alright, let's make it happen. Your Stinger OS comes with a file browser that automatically detects a host protocol on Linux or Windows. As long as you've got the necessary credentials, you can log in and browse a target's user files and folders. I've set up a shared folder on my local computer so you can familiarize yourself with the tool. Start by launching the password attack module to brute force my account. The module is in your network intrusion menu. In a future certification, I'll bring you up to speed on dictionary attacks and hash cracking, but for now, just use these parameters. The target URL is ftp.niteteam4.com, and my username is dvorhees. That's Delta Victor, Oscar Oscar, Romeo Hotel, Echo Echo Sierra. After the password attack interface is loaded, select the dictionary John the Ripper and click Start to launch the attack.
Alright, let's go ahead and do this.
Password attack and intrusion module initiated. Turbine C2 registry initiated.
So we go ahead and connect
Connection
over
completed.
to them, which is already given to us. Now, let's go ahead and just give this a quick try. We'll just ftp.NITETeam4.com and DORAGS. Now we go ahead and hit start.
Target acquired. Awaiting variables to
John the
launch
Ripper.
attack.
Now, John the Ripper is actually another password cracking tool, but its real name is Jack the Ripper, which, the famous serial killer. Anyways, we know that his last name is Voorhees, so we can throw that in there. This is just kind of narrowing down, making it quicker to find him. We also know his first name is Dylan, so again, lowers the time, makes it quicker. We don't know his age, we don't have any other information on him, so we're going to go ahead and just start this tool and
Warning.
let it take
Partial
the 30
prints
seconds it needs.
config loaded. You're about to perform an incomplete...
Yeah, do the thing.
Password successfully compromised.
So, that was really fast and lovely. His password is kind of obvious when you consider his last name. Alright, go back to certification.
Awesome! You found my super secret password. Looks like I'll have to update my AOL login info. Now, connect to my computer and download the personnel NT4 files in my user directory. My computer IP is 192.168.1.5. The file browser module is in the data forensics menu.
Yep. So, we'll just go ahead and hop into this and put in his IP address, which is a fairly standard internal IP address. And there we have it. We know D Voorhees, and his password is Jason. So there we go. We can hop right into what appears to be just the most random. What? Made you. Oh. Oh, I've been had. Oh, I feel dumb. Is it a random joke? Wait. No, I need to click on that. Random junk. Oh, that's locked. Okay then. Academy training. That seems like it would have been the more obvious choice. Back to the certification, now that I've made myself look like a fool.
Gaining access to a target's network not only allows you to dig around their computer, you can also plant malware or even compromising evidence within their system. It's an effective means of gaining leverage and control over your target. Plus, it's fun. To finish this certification, plant the file Bank of China Savings Account in my user directory. You'll need to navigate to my Documents folder and upload the file by double-clicking it in the Delivery Package panel.
Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. Oops. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. And into his root, and into what I assume is... Oh, this might work. Let's go ahead and upload it straight on into his root. And there we go. Alright, so we'll go back to certification. That should do it for this one. There we are. Alright, so there's that. We've got two more here to do. We're going to go ahead and just jump right into the X-Key Score Basics, which is what we have to do next. So we'll do that.
You now have the means to covertly browse a target's documents and sensitive data, which is useful, but often the important information is hidden in vast amount of data. It's far too time-consuming to sift through it all manually. Luckily, our friends at the NSA gave us access to X-Keyscore, an advanced server grid that gathers and analyzes millions of data points in mere seconds. When you're searching for a needle in the haystack, X-Keyscore is like a powerful magnet. As a Level 1 security analyst, your access to military and civilian surveillance data is very limited, but you can use X-Keyscore to identify specific patterns in any data sources you yourself find during missions. Agent Dylan will demonstrate what you can get out of X-Keyscore at your current clearance level.
X-Keyscore. You're going to grow to love this thing. Does most of the heavy lifting for us. Trust me, it saves a ton of time and effort. X-Keyscore is the last icon at the bottom of your screen, the one that looks like an eye. The interface is super simple. When you import data points into X-Keyscore, it analyzes and tags them as organizations and individual entities, or else data sources, for things like bank accounts, financial transactions, or traffic cams. I've loaded 2 entities into your database. Drag and drop them in the center of the screen and select the IDs and records pattern. This will task X-Keyscore to find any official records connecting the entities. To run the query, click on the play icon in the lower center of the screen.
Wow. Alright, let's go ahead and hop right into X-Keyscore.
X-Keyscore forensics initiated.
Just drag these 2 guys out here. We want to know everything. It's everything it'll tell us. So we'll go ahead and run that. Alright, there's his profile. Yes. Hello, Dylan. So that's what he looks like.
That's me! Hard to think I could be such a skilled hacker and such a handsome devil. Some of us just have it all, I guess. Now let's add Wheeler as a third entity. Try to find something that connects all 3.
Alright. Let's go snoop on the boss.
X-Keyscore forensics initiated.
Get rid of that. Throw her in there. And let's go ahead and do the thing. Agent Dylan under Sergeant Willis' command. Sounds about right. Request transfer granted. Alright then. Back to certification we go.
Great job! I've reset your entities and loaded up an investigation scenario. Find a connection between Sigil and the Black Watchman. Any new entities you discover will automatically be added to your X-Keyscore database.
Alright, let's do this thing. Investigate the suspect, analyze their connection with the Black Watchman. So,
X-Keyscore forensics initiated.
Black Watchman. There's that. Let's check for IDs and passwords and weapon transactions. So, mission report. Add that case file. Add case file. Alright, let's try these guys. Unless, of course, the target's John Wheeler. Or John Taylor. It's fair. Alright. Let's do a quick run on their transactions. Alright. Now we can't add that, so try removing him and... No, we'll remove them all. We'll throw this in here. And we'll throw John Taylor in here. And why not Oscar Bryan? Brian? Something. Just for fun. Throw that. And that. And it'll let us select that, so we'll go and do that. We'll let it run as check. Alright, What do we got here? Oscar Bryan, mission report. Alright, I'm sure there's something that I am missing. So, let's pull up. Oh, it didn't save anything. It didn't put them into a
X
case
key
file.
score forensics. X key score forensics initiated.
But I pulled him up. I was very certain I pulled him up. Oh well. Not sure just whoever that guy is. And yep. Nope, stop that. This, and this. Him, throw in John Taylor. What? Okay, what do we have here?
X
There we
key
go.
score forensics
Sigil.
initiated.
Okay. So now we have sigil to look at. So let's bring in you, and whoever you are. For those, pretty standard. Partial relations detected. Partial relations. You should try to run the analysis combination with another entity. Okay. Oscar? No. Oscar? Anything for Oscar? No. Oh, I know. I think I know what it wants. It wants this. There we go. I think that's it. Is it? Yay! Okay, so we have Sigil Threat Report. Sounds about right. Normally, I would add this to the case file just so I'd have it and don't have to go through the whole search again in order to find it. Certification. And that start is complete. We got one more left for their advanced training. And that is the mobile forensics. Now, mobile forensics can be a lot of fun if you like puzzles and sifting through a lot of random stuff.
Great work, Agent. This is the last step of your digital forensics training. Agent Dylan and I prepared a little investigation scenario to test what you've learned so far. Good luck.
Alright, let's jump right into this.
Let's start by investigating a new employee at cyberdynegroup.net. We stole... borrowed his laptop and uploaded its contents to XKeyscore. You've already got access to their network, so open your Turbine C2 registry and connect to the Cyberdyne network. It's the first icon on the lower middle of your screen. The registry shows all the networks you can access thanks to your work with Fox Acid. Locate the network card you want to use and click Connect to VPN. Your remote address at the top corner of your screen will change to Cyberdyne. This means any web navigation or attacks you carry out will look like it's coming from inside their own network. Neat, right? Use XKeyscore to find intel about the location of the main corporate file server. Once you've found it, run a fingerprint attack against the server.
Alright, let's go ahead and do this. So,
Turbine C2 registry
over to-
initiated. Connection completed.
these guys here. And now, they want us to find a
X
key
key score
document.
forensics initiated.
And this person. So, we're gonna look for IDs and IDs and records. And there's our employee record.
X key score forensics
John
initiated.
Official employee welcome kit. Give me that image viewer. Alright, what do we got here? Oh, look, that's important. Okay, so hopefully that's been saved for me. Run a fingerprint against the... Oh, where's that? Let's see. So, there. I'm blind as a bat. snet.cyberdynegroup.net. Alright, let's go ahead and bring up fingerprinter. Right,
Information gathering module initiated.
Are they going to let me? They're not. That's okay. Cyberdynegroup.net. Typed that in right, didn't I? Yeah. Yeah, I did. What do we got? Hey. SharePoint.
Awesome! We now know the server location. It's not vulnerable, so you gotta access the server legitimately. We have the employee username, but running a password attack is risky. If we get caught, we'll lose the opportunity to plant our malware. According to the intel you found, the employee has a corporate-issued cell phone. Go to the network intrusion menu and launch the phone CID backdoor. Use the intel you identified in XKeyscore and enter the cell phone's unique MAC address and vendor name. Then, investigate the phone to find the password.
And here's the fun part. So we still have our image browser up here. We're just going to make that real nice and easy. And network intrusion, phone CID
Network
backdoor.
intrusion module initiated.
It's 6A, 7D. Now notice that even though this window's in the background, because I clicked directly on a box that requires text input, it keeps the window in the background, but lets me have the image I want up in the foreground so I can type it out. Because it won't let me tab complete on this, and I mess up all the time when I try and tab complete on things. There it all goes. So, 6A, 7D, 69. Nice. 64, 51, 56. And the vendor is Verizon. Start that intrusion. What? What I type in wrong? 51, 56. Yes. Unable localize this device. What? Don't make me go pulling up things. 69, 64, 51, 56. Yeah? Yeah. Vendor? Oh, vendor's LG. Haha. That's why I mess up. Okay. There we go. I am silly. Alright. Find a clue for the password. Temporary password. Oh, look, it's right there in the notes. There's a house. One enters it blind, comes out seeing. What is it? Oh, a lighthouse? Is it?
Looks like we have what we need to upload the mower. Did you figure out the riddle? There is a house. One enters it blind and comes out seeing. What is it? It's one of the oldest riddles in the world. A version of it was found etched into a clay tablet found in Sumer, dating from 18th century BC. Humanity has had almost 4,000 years to solve it, but I'm only giving you 5 more seconds. Time's up. The answer is school. We enter school blind, without knowledge, and come out the other side a learned scholar, able to see the world. Clever, right? I'm a sucker for ancient Sumeria. Well, actually all of Mesopotamia. Anytime you want to chat Bronze Age civilizations, I'm your guy. But I won't always be here to help you with stuff like this. So from time to time, you'll have to leave the Stinger OS to do some research in the real world or online.
Yeah.
Let's hope Sasha Brewster didn't change her temporary password. Open the file browser and use her credentials to connect to the Cyberdyne Group file server. Then, upload the malware and get the hell out of there.
Alright. Let's do the thing, shall we? Alright. I'm so lost without my autocomplete. Cybernet, yeah, Cyberdyne Group. .net. Username is sbrewster. And her password is school? Yeah. Oh. I hit the wrong button. That's fine. We need the Azure. Cyberdyne Group, AzureNet folder. Let's try. Well, most everything's locked, so we'll go to home first. Administrator. Projects. Nope. What though? What was that? Robotics? No. Oh. AzureNet. Skynet. I get it. Smart. Very cheeky. And the team models I saw in the other folder. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and hop the hell out of this.
Turbine C2 registry.
Bye-bye.
Initiate. Network disconnected.
Alright, there we go. And there's that. Okay. I believe that's... Yes. That is in fact all that we can do for now in the training. Yes. So, I hope that you learned a little something from this, and I love this game. I can't wait for the full game to come out. I'm really excited. It has really great potential to be amazing and to just really take off. Seeing all the work that they put into this game, it is incredible just how close to realism they get. I mean, it's right on the edge. I wouldn't necessarily say the skills are transferable, going from game to system penetration testing OS like Kali Linux. But if you're coming from Kali Linux, if you already have a background in social security, or sorry, in network security or systems security, cyber network security systems, if you already have a background in security, then the skills that you have from there are transferable over to here. You have the basic layout in your mind of your processes, your step-by-step, which they walk you through it anyways. You know, identify, target, research, exploit. It's all right there. But I love the game. I can't wait for the full version to come out, and I'm really glad that they let me do a play test for them. That's all for now. This is Lenicus signing off.